Welcome to the Carr Brothers with Jeff, Jack, and Jody Carr. They talk about current events, politics, community, and business. Take it away, boys.
Hi there, welcome to the Carr Brothers Show. It's episode 149. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jody, the third of the three Carr brothers. And aren't we excited tonight? Isn't this great? We have a very special, very special guest.
Well, we're so very pleased to have none other than, and no stranger to many of our viewers, New Brunswickers and Canada alike, is Rose Arsenault. Many would know Rose from CBC-TV from way back in the day. For 20 years, you delivered the weather for us and forecasted and just brightened our days. Even on the cloudy days, you brightened our days on that 6 o'clock news program. And then from then, you were 20 years plus working with the Department of Tourism, with the provincial government, and now with the city of Fredericton. So very happy to have you on our show.
Honest, I am the one that's happy to be here. This is truly an honor and a privilege. I've seen your guest list, and to be among them, honestly, I feel truly honored. Thank you so much.
Well, we've known you for several years, yes. Through our professional jobs and as MLAs and things like that, and now through tourism and seeing you with the Ormukta River watershed and being involved with the greater Fredericton region. So it's really great to have a friend on our show.
Thank you.
I refer to Rose as New Brunswick's darling.
Yes.
Yes, that you are just something else. And do you, around that, your popularity or namesake, do you still get people that are running up to you or running into you and talking about those days of doing
absolutely.
the weather?
Apparently, I had a cow named after me, so
yes.
Those are the kinds of stories people tend to share.
And who named that cow?
I love them, and they're no longer with us, or at least one of them is still alive.
So the McLean brothers.
Yes.
They are big fans of Rose and have been for all those years. But Ronnie passed away a couple of years ago. But Alvin is still living and thriving. And
well, Alvin, if you're watching, hello, I miss you.
Oh, that's awesome. So the McLean brothers, they're famous, they named their cow Rose after you.
Yes. So that means you hit the big time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they would tell that story too. Anybody that came to visit, they would say exactly why they named Rose.
Yeah. So, but lots of stories like that.
Yes, and I do. I love people. That's they say find a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life, and that's what I feel about my work, as you would about what you do, respectively. It's just meeting people and doing what I can to help people. So even when in my CBC days, I had that people helping people stories. It just came naturally to me to propose that, because I just want people to, be friendly, be kind, and celebrate that.
Oh,
exactly.
That's excellent. That's great. Yeah. And so all these years, people will still run into you and say, "Oh, can I have your autograph?" And these, it must blow you away, though, that it's been 20 plus years that you haven't been on TV.
Yes. Yeah. So I'll either be asked for clothing or an autograph. But I will say that when I was on the air, I was a little more shy, not so much about autographs or meeting particularly senior citizens, but now that I'm really embracing the privilege of having been on television and having the respect of so many people, I so embrace just the idea of signing an autograph or getting my picture taken with your grandfather or your grandmother, or I love it. And, and then that just adds up and continues to be the gift that keeps on giving. So I really enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. And then you, from CBC, you worked with the Department of Tourism. And that was 22 years.
It's hard to believe that much time went by that quickly.
Yeah.
Yes, well, they had huge cutbacks at the CBC, and so they got rid of all of the weather reporters across the country. And I was given an opportunity to stay in my communications role, but I decided it would be an opportunity for me to look to see what else was out there. So I marched to tourism because I knew that's exactly where I wanted to work. They were located in the Centennial Building at the time, and I remember walking in there doing creative visualization saying, this is going to be my new place of work. This is the elevator that I'm going to take to the 6th floor. Had the first meeting, and they were talking about things like travel trade. And I thought, I don't know what that is, but yes, I could be good at that. And, marketplaces and all of these, terms that I had never heard before. But I did go in there saying that I really, in my CBC days, I was an on-air tour guide of sorts. So I would go to La Dune de Bouctouche, and I would go to La Pays de la Seguin, and I would go to King's Landing, and I would go to Kingsbury Garden, and I would do all of these on-air documentaries to, however long they were, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 20 minutes, I think, because they ended up becoming NB summer programs, features. So I had the knowledge, and they recognized that. But then they had a hiring freeze, and they said, we can't hire somebody, and, especially a public face such as yours. So then I came this close.
And all this stuff.
Yes, I came very close to signing on as the station manager for Rogers TV.
Oh, wow.
Went back to the province and said, I'm about to sign. And they said, I think we have something for you.
Nice.
And then they offered me this
position.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Always an exception.
That is excellent. That's
Talked
great.
hiring freezes for years since then, and the job requisitions keep coming through anyway to the minister's office. So
very uniquely
you cannot
specialized.
turn down or pass up good talent,
Right.
even if you have a hiring freeze on, because the government needs to continue to go. So.
Yeah.
And that was
But
one of the
they're general.
best decisions that government made in 2001. And, that's excellent. So Jody was a part of that government.
Yeah. So I was. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard to believe it's
That long ago.
that long ago.
Well, it's going to be hard to talk about me this whole time because we
always like to talk about us.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's,
you all deserve awards for the work that you do in government and elsewhere. You're leaving legacies, I think.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah.
Well, we're still working at it.
Yes.
We're still working at
Aren't
it.
we all? Aren't we all? Yeah. So what's your background? Where did you come from?
Why CBC?
Like New Brunswick? Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, born and raised in Fredericton. Our parents spoke French to us, and we thought it was quite natural for the 3 girls, to answer back in English. And this is what we did in our household, assuming that that's what everybody did. There was an English school across the street from where I lived, Park Street, and or I could have gotten bused to a French school. And my mom, and I totally understand where she was coming from, because I probably would have done the same had I had children. She could send me across the street where she could, look at me at recess, or, even I could go visit at recess. Yeah. And then that's the decision we made. I'm going to say regrettably, because it would be so easy to learn English in an English community.
Right. Yeah.
But I love learning French. A lot of people would say, oh, Rose, you're fluent. And I would disagree somewhat. I understand everything. I do struggle to speak it. But once I get going, I get really, really good at it. And I love it. And I did spend 2 months away in a place called Guadeloupe, where it was all French. I had no choice but to speak it. And I came back speaking beautiful Parisian French. Tu sais quoi? Tu comprends? Yeah. And then, of course, you don't use it, you lose it. So,
well, that's fascinating. Then that's a great New Brunswick history of Anglophone and Francophone together.
Yeah. So, and then the CBC was really my first official good paying job, and I did so many things there. Started off as a receptionist, and then I went down into the record library where I could shut the door and crank the tunes, which was amazing. So it was just wall-to-wall albums at the time, vinyl, and I had the
turntable.
Yes, exactly. And then kind of graduated from there. There was a strike, and the weather person at the time didn't come back after that. And they said, Rose, would you like this opportunity to go on air?
Wow.
And
so that didn't start right off the bat.
No.
You're behind the scenes for a while.
Yes, exactly. And and so then I went home to my mom and I said, I've been offered this job, but I'm turning it down. She goes, what do you mean you're turning it down? This is an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm like, oh my goodness. I said, I don't know my geography well enough, and I don't know the weather stuff and all that stuff. She said, that'll come. Best advice she gave me. So accepted the job, loved it. One of the things that I used to say when I was delivering a weather forecast, like in the pouring rain, I would say, my mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I wouldn't say anything with the rain coming down over me. Yeah.
That's why people love you, Rose.
But people would call in and they bring her in from the rain, bring her in from the cold.
Yes, those top executives.
How dare they do that?
Poor Rose.
Yeah.
Poor Rose.
Wow, what, like you said, your mom saying, no, go for it and do that. And then you must often think about that, because that would have been a huge breakthrough for you, for personally, but also professionally for your career.
I can't tell you the doors it has opened, because I went on within that position. I mean, I really wore multiple hats for those 20 years. I just kept graduating and ended up being a communications coordinator or officer, whatever the title was at the time, for all of our radio programming and our television programming. So it was fun to look in the Daily Gleaner to see a news release that I'd submitted written, and appearing verbatim in the Daily Gleaner. And so that was a lot of fun. And just to always put my hand up if kids were wanting to have a tour of the studio, which was also fun. I really have no regrets at all I might have one regret. It was not having gone to university. That was the first job I got. It was really hard to leave that job and go back to school. Yeah. It paid well. I loved it. I was meeting incredible people. And to your point, it opened so many doors for me. emceeing being one of them. I love doing that. I have rarely, and it's only been because they really would not take no for an answer, I never accept payment for an emceeing position. And then I did one recently, like within the last 2 years, and they insisted that I be paid for it. I insisted that I not. They insisted that I do, so I said, okay. But no, I do a ton of that kind of volunteer work. But you know what it does for me is that natural high that you get from performing. I kind of missed that until I started emceeing, and then I thought, I'm getting it again. Yeah. And I do have my favorites. You're not supposed to pick favorites, but the Turnaround Achievement Awards.
I was going to ask about that.
Oh my goodness. Have you? Well, yes, you've probably been. I've seen you in the audience.
We've been there.
Yes.
A few times. Yes. And you're always
Jody was actually the Minister of Education
yes,
one year.
I
presented
recall that.
Yes.
Yes.
But so how do you? I mean, because you're at the podium. Everybody's looking at Rose. The student does their thing, does their speech, and then it comes back to Rose. So how do you keep it together? Because there's some pretty sad, emotional, and triumphant, like victory stories for these kids.
This is how I start that night. I say, I'm just going to do a little check. Yep, have this. Yep, have this. I bring out a Kleenex box. Everybody starts laughing. I say, oh, you guys are laughing now. Funny, This is not to say this isn't a feel-good event. It is, but you will shed a tear. And I and everyone else on stage and in the audience sheds tears. These stories are so heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. We're talking pregnancy at the age of, a teenager, lost mother and father in a car accident, addicted to drugs, you name it, all three can be happening with one student, and yet they have turned their lives around. The fascinating thing about this whole thing is that those awards, those medals are so coveted that other students go, oh, I want one of those. And then they turn their lives around. So we give out a lot of scholarships, like valued at a lot of money, but we also give out these medals and pieces of paper and all that stuff. But it is an incredible event. So I've been doing that for, I think, 20 years.
And I think, I'm not sure, maybe the last one I was at, the recipients from the original years that actually came back. They were there, weren't they?
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's quite something. So now it's getting to be generational.
Oh yes, and then the other story was told of a student who was an award recipient. His home burned, lost his medal. He called and said, is there any way I can get a replacement for the medal? Wow. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Just really, really great stories like that.
It is. There you go. There's the fulfillment, not only filling up your bucket, the adrenaline of being on stage, but then the giving back and the filling of your bucket for donating your time and also hearing all those tremendous stories.
Oh, yes. So and then the opportunity at the end of the evening, they have a receiving line. And I always make sure that I let people go ahead of me, but I'm also making sure that I'm encouraging these kids to keep going in this right direction.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
And for us being there, many times we know the kids from our area that are receiving it and know their families and maybe went to school with their families and things like that. So it's really special to see them, accomplish great things.
Exactly.
And for me, before I was elected, I was the chair of minor hockey in Oromocto.
Yeah.
So a lot of those kids now are,
Yeah.
they're graduating or they have graduated, and to see them, where they were and where they are. And
Yeah. Well, and the other exciting
There's
thing
no
is that
limit.
this program is getting highlighted and, in fact, getting adopted by other provinces. So I love that it's kind of like the tiny homes scenario.
right.
Just takes right off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And
people
it's
see the good work.
and it's in most regions of the province, I believe.
Yes.
The Turnaround
Yes.
Achievement Award, so
Which is
it's great.
great.
Yes, it's excellent.
Yeah.
And the Johnson family are a big part of
I
that.
was just going to say shout out
Yeah.
to Brian for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
They do. Him and they go above and beyond, and they just take. They were just a huge investment in it. Not
goodness.
really financially, but
Yeah.
Brian is right there listening to all the stories and
Yeah.
encouraging the kids, and that's huge.
Yeah, I have a section in my speech where I recognize him, and I always go off script when I talk about it, and then I cannot not shed a tear. So the Kleenex box comes out again, and they're all so special. So Brian's wife Denise, because I do the Kleenex box thing year after year, she gave me this most incredibly beautiful gold and black, beautiful, ornate Kleenex box that I now will bring with me every time I go and stand in front of a microphone. Yeah.
That's special.
Now, talking about younger people, kids and that, you probably have been to a few career days.
I have.
To schools.
Yes.
Yes.
And what's your, what's kind of some of your highlights of your advice that you'd give? And maybe some experiences.
Sure.
these
Okay.
kind of
This
days.
is not a word of a lie. I was on my way out the door to deliver such a presentation. I had the PowerPoint. I had everything all prepared. I felt ready. The phone rang, and it was coincidentally, just said, look, I don't have a long time to talk. I'm heading out to do this career days. And he comes back and says, oh, I just did one. Good luck getting the attention of the students. So I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. So off I go, and sure enough, the kids are like on their phones, heads down, like some are sleeping. I'm like, oh my goodness. But then I thought, okay, how am I going to turn this around? I'm sure some of the guys in front of me in this classroom like fishing. So I say, Jack, and name them. Jack.
And then all of a sudden,
they look up. And then I'm like, do you like fishing? Fishing, yeah. I just went last week and I caught a great big fish. And I'm like, okay, great. Did you know that you get a job in tourism and do that? Like be a guide and get paid for it? Like what? And then, restaurant business. Anyway, so it was a lot of fun for me, but I did not envy the teacher. At the end of that day, I just thought, oh my goodness, to do that day in and day out. So
hats off.
Hats off to all of the
There's
teachers.
so much competition out there, to
Oh
try
my
to
goodness!
get
And
up there
now
and dance in front of
AI
them.
and
Oh,
dear.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And so that's good.
And so some advice. So
Yeah.
when you're asked, you said one earlier about making sure your job's not your job, but something like that.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Yeah.
What
What you
other type
love
of
and-
advice? Go for your dreams, reach high, don't give up.
Definitely. I just feel in my job, I am such a resourceful. I'm a cheerleader. Number one, I'm a cheerleader. Number two, I'm kind of like a matchmaker. So if you're in business and you need, I'm not going to use funding as an example because there is a gap in the marketplace right now in terms of funding for young.
That's a very polite way of
Young
saying it.
entrepreneurs
Yes.
and young,
That's a very-
But let's say education.
Right.
So professional
and
development has always been a passion of mine. It is going to be part of my portfolio until I die. Like that's what I preach. And the Grossmorn Institute for Sustainable Tourism happens to be my favorite, not only because many of the courses are free, and that's very appealing to a small business operator who's having a hard time, paying the rent. So yeah, really, really great courses. Anything from the LIFT program, and I've been very successful recruiting people into that program. They come out and they're different. Their businesses are thriving. It's just exciting to see them go on and win awards after that. Not all because of, the fact that I recommended GMIST, but it's just, continuous, just
development.
being a cheerleader.
And what's that one called again for viewers?
The Grossmorn Institute for Sustainable Tourism, GMIST, in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador.
Or better off, contact Rose.
She'll
put you in touch.
But they have a really good Facebook presence, and they promote. They've got one, I think, that's just starting today, I think it's probably today, a marketing one. I usually, before I recommend a course, I typically will attend it to make sure that it's, that I feel that it's worthwhile and worthy of your time, knowing that you are a small business operator. But the awards are like top of mind. So I nominate a lot of businesses for awards, and we've been very successful, with people coming out from a national event with an award in hand, with provincial event, Atlantic events,
you take
in
that
particular.
You take that
I really
serious. Like I was kind of intrigued to see that you're quite proud of nominating.
Yes, to me, it's the epitome of saying great job without having me say great job. They are recognized, the spotlight shines on them, they're up at the podium receiving this award, and then they go back and they talk about it on social media. It brings extra additional clients into their businesses, so it's very worthwhile for me. I think we broke records when I was with the province in terms of the number of awards won. Then people started saying, hey, I wonder what New Brunswick's secret is, and I don't know if I'll reveal it or not.
It's in the application.
I will reveal it. Bob Mercereau, if you're listening and watching, this really is a thank you to you. He is an incredible writer, and he is so incredibly gifted to tell somebody's story.
Wow.
So, of course, when a judge is like, oh my goodness, this is so like Robin Hanson, his story, Renaissance man. Bob comes up with the term Renaissance man. What better term to describe Robin Hanson? If you don't know Robin Hanson, he's a Renaissance man. But those are the kinds of terms that he'll use. He'll tell a story. So he is my secret weapon. He is aside from what the nominee does, but it certainly helps when you have somebody who can tell their story so well. Yes,
well, that's excellent. Wow. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a lot more about maybe some of Rose's hobbies that she has, what she's currently doing now in her new role with the City of Fredericton, and talk about some of the partnerships that she has with different tourism groups and outfitters and different things like that in the Capital Region.
And what the future looks like here in Fredericton.
What does the future look? Yes, exactly. So we're going to take a few minutes and check out some of our public service announcements with our partners at CHCO.
Hi there, welcome back to the Carr Brothers Show. It's episode 149. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jody. And we're so excited. We have New Brunswick's darling here with us. Rose Arsenault has been known throughout New Brunswick and around the globe of her work on TV, CBC-TV with Tourism New Brunswick, and now most recently the Fredericton Region with Tourism Fredericton. We're so happy you're here with us, Rose.
It is my pleasure, honestly. I'm having a blast.
So when you were with the province for 20 plus years,
yes.
Talk about when you started to when you finished and all of what you saw became easier or what became more challenging throughout those years.
That's a good question.
Maybe market gaps. Were there any market gaps in there that you
well, we still talk about those gaps, but I loved my years with the provincial department of well, I'm going to go back when it used to be called oh my goodness, Eat, Drink and Travel, Economic Development and Tourism,
right?
So people would say it was Eat, Drink, and Travel.
Yes. Well, where did they get what cheeseburger did they get that from?
Exactly.
Goodness gracious.
But yes, it really, the job that I'm doing currently very much is what I was doing when I was with the province. So it's all about industry capacity building through professional development, which we already talked about. It's funding opportunities, it's experience development. We stopped using the word product development. Right. A product is basically what you buy, what you sell, and experience is really what you feel and all of that emotion. And so when I was with the province, I had a huge territory. I had what was known as Destination Southeast. So from Couchipaquack all the way down to Sackville, and then they gave me Miramichi on top of that.
Okay.
And I loved it. And what I tend to do, and God bless my husband because he's right there alongside me, I will support the area in which I'm entrenched and committed to. So we would do all of our vacationing in Shediac or Couchipaquack or wherever, and we would do all of the things, Le Pays de la Seguin, all of the, visit all of the attractions. And now that I'm with Fredericton, we're doing that in the Fredericton Capital Region. And again, I can't say how much I love it. But yeah, the similarities are, it's basically my servicing to the best of my ability, the hundreds of clients that I serve happily.
In the Capital Region now.
Yeah, day
which
in,
is
day out.
surprising for a lot of people. I don't think the general public would realize that there are that many clients that you can serve, because it's just not the city you work with. You work with the regional, the whole Regional Service Commission.
Correct.
I guess, and they contract city tourism to do that work,
Yes.
which was excellent because you
Okay.
were
Well,
already
that's good to know.
established.
Yeah, so since
The city was
amalgamation,
already
yes, so
established,
so now I'm responsible for Arcadia, which
Yes.
is Gagetown, Cambridge Narrows, Jemseg, all the way to Nac. There is no one community that is further out than an hour.
Right.
And the drives, I have to tell you, Carr brothers, the drives are breathtaking. Like, stop in your tracks, breathtaking, along the Nash Walk. Oh my goodness, that 105 when you're leaving Fredericton and going to Nackwick. Oh my gracious sake. So I'm, again, I'll throw out the term. It's not my quote. I don't even remember who quoted Confucius, I think. Find a job you love and you will not have to work a day in your life. And that's what I feel about the jobs that I have had.
Well, I've gone onto the Fredericton Tourism website, especially you have family in town. Oh, what's going on this weekend,
Yes.
And I'm so impressed. I did it a few times this summer. So impressed with not just the city of Fredericton, but the greater Fredericton region. And it's all about, like you said, the experience. So even if someone goes to Nackwick, that still benefits the city of Fredericton because then they're probably coming to Fredericton. And it's just that whole web.
Yes.
And what a great job to list all the things that people have available to them to do.
Well,
there's not a shortage of things to do.
No. So every Wednesday, so I have completed it before I came here.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday I do what we call the Fredericton Capital Region Tourism Weekly Roundup. So every Wednesday I send out to as many people as I can, anybody who wants to listen, and the feedback from this is like incredible. So it motivates me to keep doing it. It takes me about 2 to 3 hours. I go through every client's Facebook page to find out what they're doing. So the Christmas choices for people to choose from this year are incredible. There are markets, there are parades, there are tree lighting, King's Landing. Check out what King's Landing has. The Village Aglow, Christmas Village Aglow, I think is what it's called. It's going to be phenomenal. I mean, it's just, there's so many things to do, and I'm giving you the list, all in one place.
Yeah.
You just pick and choose whatever strikes your fancy.
Then thank you. Then you were a part of that. I think the weekend that I looked it up, specifically that I remember, was when Fred Rod was taking place at Officer Square.
Yes.
And I'm just kind of looking for the info about that. And then there's like 10 other things that we could do that weekend, which was great. That was excellent service.
We have a great marketing team, and they are on top of that. And the incredible events that are happening in Officer Square. So what was trending in 2024, 2025 was communities needed a vibe. And if you didn't have a vibe, you weren't really, in the game. Well, Fredericton with Officer Square has a vibe, a huge vibe. The Harvest Music Festival, Highland Games with Alan Doyle, all of the skating that's happening in the winter in Officer Square. No matter how cold it is, when I'm walking to my office, I'm seeing people out skating. It's just incredible. Yeah, it's just a wonderful venue to have right in our downtown.
That's great.
Well, and speaking of proximity, like when you think of Fredericton, where I live, I'm 5 minutes away from an outdoor tennis facility. I'm 10 minutes away from an indoor tennis facility. I'm across the street from a golf course, and then I'm an hour's drive from any of the golf courses. So it's an incredible place. I wouldn't live anywhere else. I love Fredericton.
It's very inspiring,
Yes.
very exciting.
Yes.
And speaking of tennis, you have a passion for tennis. People might not, maybe the
No, they might not
townies
be
in
aware.
the city and that might know, but there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't know of your passion for tennis. Tell us about that.
Oh my goodness.
Where did it come from?
I started playing like a little bit when I was in high school, maybe. I don't think it was any earlier than that. Every time we would go away on a trip, Alan would teach golf. I would learn to play tennis. So I would sign up for every tennis lesson that was happening everywhere we went. So I was getting all of these different messages. Oh, hold your racket this way, do this, do that, whatever. Come back, and I would rarely play in Fredericton. So one day, thankfully, again, a shout out to I'm going to say Mark Thibault, the executive director of Tennis New Brunswick, who said, he came over to Alan and I, and he said, we've got something coming up this weekend. Do you want to play? I'm like, yes. I just said yes.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I have been playing tennis, and I play a lot. I don't know where I find the time because I'm very committed to my work. I'll be there over my lunch hour. I'll be there late at night. I still manage to play at least 11 hours of tennis a week.
Holy, that's a lot.
Seven times a week, three out. Like I'll play doubles for my warm up, an hour and a half to lead into my singles. And I love, I won't name names. I know who I really love playing with and against. But I'm selective. I'm a base hitter. I love hitting hard, and I love hitting baseline. I don't like the chip shots. And so I will be very selective with who I play with. Yeah. But yes, that is definitely my passion. I play tennis as much for mental health as I do for my physical health. Golf would take a back seat. Sorry, Alan. Alan is a golf pro. Yes. I do love golf. It's not the time. That's not my excuse because, as I've just laid out, I spend that on the tennis court. But I like the physicality of it. I love to break a sweat. I love the camaraderie. I love everything about tennis, It's incredible. And I was on a very small committee. There were like really 3 of us that did the majority of the work, fundraising, to have that Abney Family Tennis Center built with cushioned floor, good for the joints, geothermal heat from the Grant Harvey Center. So it's just a real privilege to play there and to know that we played a part in allowing people. I mean, it's preventative health, right? It's, get out there, and the multicultural community is so well represented in that facility. Young kids, it's just incredible. Girls, which sadly enough, a reason that some girls choose not to get into sports, it's because of their body image. That's very sad to me. So if I can encourage girls to get out there and play tennis and love it and get exercise and be healthier for it, then I'll be a component of that
It's
sport.
a fascinating facility. It's
I've never
very
been
nice.
in.
I've been in a few times in my role as a MLA, because the tennis center was in my riding, and I'd be invited there different times for different events. Just amazing. You guys will have to check it out.
Yeah. And is there
6 courts.
I'm assuming there's a beginners program?
Yes, there are all kinds of programming.
Levels.
And so what was starting to happen, and it was all, we also marketed it, but it kind of happened naturally anyway, is that if you've got a child out there playing tennis, why are you not on the adjacent court learning how to play adult tennis or whatever?
Great.
Yeah. So
And then, let's see here as well. I mean, you wouldn't be bringing this up, but we want to bring it up that you, in 2017, you were named into the Tennis New Brunswick Hall of Fame in the builder category. I mean, that must have been, it's your passion. That's just that one. There's some others as well. The City of Fredericton Unsung Hero Award, but that's not connected so much with tennis, but I'm assuming a part of that. But to get that Tennis New Brunswick Hall of Fame award would have been just phenomenal for you.
It was, and it was such a surprise. So I was emceeing that event. So I was announcing all of the award recipients, and they were all coming up, and then I was ready to conclude.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, thank you all for coming. We're concluding. No, we got one more award.
Oh boy.
I have it in my notes. I don't have my notes. And so sure enough, somebody comes up, takes my place at the microphone, and I'm like, what is going on? No clue. I even think that I see my husband out in the parking lot, but I'm like, can't be him. I'm in Moncton. He's in Fredericton. anyway, they announced my name. I'm going to get teary-eyed. They announced my name. Yeah. And so Builder was all of the work that I and David Clark, I need to mention him for sure. He is the reason why that tennis facility exists. His wife, Barb Ramsey, they're a team that have done amazing things in this community, especially for that tennis facility. And then I was like, third, fourth, fifth on the list. But so that was coveted. I will tell you that was a much coveted and
pretty cool.
a very surprising award, but very appreciative of it.
And you're also a mixed doubles provincial champ.
Well, you know what? I'm going to credit my doubles partner more than me on that one. If anybody knows the name Dax Phillips, who is an incredible golfer and has this uncanny ability to chase down every ball, no matter where it is on the court. Phenomenal ability. Phenomenal ability.
Well,
I think he would be good at any sport.
Well, he comes from a great
good.
family of Sonny Phillips, of course,
does.
his dad.
Yes.
So he's a phenomenal.
So I attribute that. But we did beat Mark Pepin and Harry Henny.
That's big.
Yes,
that's big.
And they had videotaped because they had done something the day previous, and they left the cameras up. And I never saw it, but they had that recorded. I'm like, wow, that'd be pretty special to watch back.
That's
That's a big feat.
Hidden tapes, yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. What else did we want to talk about?
Well, we mentioned the tennis award, and I had mentioned as well the City of Fredericton Unsung Hero Award of 2013 and the Rotary Clubs of Fredericton Paul Harris Award. Like that's an amazing company that you're associated with of past and present and future award recipients. Those are two big awards to be given.
Yes, yeah, so. And I'm forever grateful and very humble. I do what comes naturally. I mentioned I just did a personality typing thing through work, realized that I am, in a nutshell, a feeler. I will cry. I'm very led by my emotions. So I think it comes naturally for me to want to help people. So there are things, in the city that I would love to jump on board with. The homelessness issue just tears my heart apart. So many things, but I'm only one person. I can only do so much. So I do a lot through my MC work, and then my work with Science East, the Newley Institute, Miriam McQueen Ferguson Foundation, and they're just organizations that are
and some of these like our long time Miriam McQueen since 2003. You've hosted that, and the Turnaround Awards. We've talked about that since that's like over. That adds up in years.
But I'm thankful to those organizations who just keep asking me. They just say it wouldn't be the same without you, and I appreciate that they feel that way because I love those opportunities for sure.
It's one thing to get asked the first time, but then to be repetitively asked year after year.
And then when you're not asked, you're like, oh.
What does it mean? What happened? Back to tennis, when you were younger, first starting out, who were some of your favorite players on the tour, on the big professional tours?
I think always Federer for me. It was always Federer. It was just, my husband would name more tennis players professionally than I could. But Federer was just, just everything. His demeanor on court, his ability on court. I mean, there's just a lot to be said for his, his calmness and just being respectful, and I love that about him.
That's how you try to. Is that how you?
Absolutely, and very encouraging.
Just tough and strong, but very firm.
Like if I'm on a court, if I'm playing in a tennis tournament and I'm playing against a much weaker player than I'm not going to beat them 6-love, 6-love, 6-love. I'm going to hit the ball. I mean, it's going to be out there longer, and I'm going to, Mark's going to be like, get off the court. I'm like, no, I really want to encourage, even in a tournament. I'm like, great shot, here you go. Yeah. And, that was awesome, and encouraging them. And I mean, some coaches would probably tell me, like, no, you need to have your game face on. You can't be talking in between sets and all that stuff. I'm sorry, that's just not me.
When we were kids, we'd watch, there was a stint there, Jody and I watched a lot of tennis. and more in the like late 80s, I think we did, early 90s, but Jim Connor's kind of near the tail end of that, but he had a good little run at one time. Patrick McEnroe, Martina Navratilova, we were fans of, and
Chris Evert,
Steffi Graf, like that,
You
Andre
guys
Agassi.
even had your own tennis rackets.
We did.
You played a little bit.
Yeah,
We'll have to see. We'll try to take that back.
Get that out, and we should go down to the center with Rose, and she can give us a few pointers.
You heard it here,
Probably
folks. You heard it here.
I think I still have my racket. Well, I don't throw anything out. You can ask Cheryl, but I think I still have my racket from back in the day.
That's the Carr gene from Gary that we like to keep most of everything.
Might need it someday. And hey, you just never know. You may need it.
That's right.
Well, we have hosted at the Abity Family Tennis some international events.
Yes.
And it's been incredible to hear the pop and crack of a tennis ball when it's hit that hard. We had never heard anything like it before. So again, another, I'm going to say once in a lifetime, but it's happened 3 times to me. Once in a lifetime, I thought at the time, I got to play in a Pro-Am event against someone who is now doing so well in doubles, but now transitioning into singles on the international stage. And then in golf, I got to play 2 Pro-Am events. So I played with the number 1 ranked and the number 3 ranked. And now to see, and I get most of my updates from Alan, who was following it more than I. Oh, he made it into the Corn Ferry Tour. Oh, he made it into. I'm like, wow. And I was playing alongside him, and so nice, and so like, oh my goodness, it was incredible. But what they could do with the ball, like we loved at Mactaquac, and Mactaquac was in such incredible shape. We like to watch on number 9 because you could see the backspin that the players were putting on the ball that you and I would never see, playing amongst our group. Maybe Dax Phillips, but not you or me.
No.
Yeah, phenomenal.
So you've played with Jack before then, have you?
We actually, your son Brandon and
Brandon's quite a player,
myself and Hunter, we went to the Mactaquac this year just after the big tournament, and it was just phenomenal shape and just amazing. And, But you helped volunteer a little bit.
Not this past summer, but the summer before, the first year, I was a volunteer driver, shuttle driver for the players.
Lucky.
Now that was cool.
No kidding.
Because you really got to know them, and if you drove certain players multiple times, and you kind of become friends. So I follow Joey now and different ones on social media. And this summer when he was back, I wasn't driving, but he's asked my son Brandon, because Brandon was the caddy master. About me. So a year later, he's asking. So that's cool, and they're just so polite.
And
they're
some
professionals.
families, some families billeted some of the players, and they love them and follow them, and it's
the
really,
Phillips is billeted a player too. Sonny did, but they're professionals. And they're very well spoken. They're polite. Even when you pick them up after they've had a really, really tough round. Professional. And young. So it's really good to see that at that stage of their career, their lives, that they understand what it means to be a public-facing person, and people are watching, the kids are watching as role models. So that was a really fun week.
So probably really July of 2026, and maybe 27 and 2028. So it's a 5-year deal.
It is.
Yes.
Okay. It's great.
That's good.
So kudos to all of the people involved at Mactaquac Provincial Park for getting that course in the best shape it has ever been in.
Well, that comes to the end of our second segment already, and we're going to take a few minutes to get a listen from our stakeholders and our public service announcements at CHCO. And when we come back, we will finish off the third segment with Rose and talk about any fascinating initiatives that the Capital Region has coming up, things that are working well right now, and what to look forward to in this next tourism season. So we'll be right back.
Exciting.
Hi there, welcome back to the Carr Brothers Show. It's episode 149. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jody, and I just can't believe it. It's 149 episodes, and people keep watching our show.
They do, and they keep discovering it. People all the time we run into people, and they're like, I just saw your show last week for the first time.
And I can't believe it's 149 with our special guest, Rose Arsenault, who is New Brunswick's darling. I've mentioned that a couple of times, and just a childhood dream to be on our show with Rose Arsenault.
My smile couldn't possibly be any bigger. You guys are really
boys, our nan and our grandfather's boys, they'd be some proud to know we were on with Rose Arsenault.
Watch the news religiously back in the day.
Get the hands going on the arms of the chair. And
well, I think I left CBC just at the right time because if I had a fan base at all, it started at the age of 70. And I think the reason why, at least people would tell me, it's because I enunciate. And so they appreciated that they understood what I was, I was
we could
saying.
understand. You were clear.
Makes sense.
You get a lot of compliments on the like you said, the enunciation, pronunciation.
And talking about just everyday things, people can relate. And
well,
we've had out there. Poor Rose out on the front lawn of CBC getting all wet. And
blizzard out there, trying to just tell the weather.
You just came right into their living rooms with them daily.
Yeah.
Basically,
that was
fun.
And got attached,
and people do miss, and we could have a whole show on that.
We don't have weather anymore.
Just the the reduction of newsrooms and things like that. But anyhow, people just miss that connection, and that's why we're glad that we're on CHCO-TV,
New Brunswick's only independent TV channel,
and the work that Patrick and Vicky and Flo and the whole group at CHCO does to promote local content. And so we're very pleased that they have us on their channel, and we're now on, as you know, Rose. Rogers on Bell and on Shaw. So
love it.
Any home that has cable essentially has an opportunity to watch local content here in New Brunswick.
I love that.
That's
I love
a lot of years in the making to get
local content is so important. I remember when they were talking about the CBC going from 3 afternoon shows to 1 and the uproar. I think it kind of works.
It was in the
But the morning show, I want to know what's going on in my city of Fredericton.
Yes.
I know. It's so important. People just want to know what's happening locally. Yep. So we've talked about some of your previous employment and your professional life and your volunteer time and what you're passionate about. Talked about some of your sports achievements as well and everything in between. I think we want to focus a little bit in the little bit of time we have left.
Yeah.
What does the future hold for the Fredericton region tourism in that sector and in that I guess that line of work for people and those that want to visit Fredericton area for the first time? Like what's in store for the year coming up?
What's in the hopper here?
I have to say we have an incredibly strong team and they work so hard and they love it. They will put in the hours and not complain a second. And so, we do big things like the programming at Officer Square alone. We could use up the remaining time just talking about some of the things that are happening in that place. I'm not sure if we talked off air or on air about that trend, which was, a destination needed a vibe. We felt that we really didn't have a vibe. We do now because of Officer Square. That is a legacy project, and I, again, am always doing these shout-outs. This one is for David Seabrook, the director of tourism and recreation. He has big, like we mentioned, Officer Square, the Garrison Night Market. Again,
a lot of legacy projects.
Oh my gracious sakes!
That Garrison Market is phenomenal.
I'm going to get it wrong, but it is the largest night market east of the Rockies, I believe. It's huge.
I'm not surprised, but I am surprised east of the Rockies. But that's phenomenal.
Yeah, and the numbers of people that go through there on a Thursday night, incredible. And now we've expanded into Officer Square. It's remarkable.
So wintertime events. So there's a lot of communities have winter carnivals, I guess we used to call them, and we've participated in lots and with parades and whatnot. Is it Frostival or is it Winterfest?
Yes,
like, tell
Frostival is incredible.
And you partner with other communities. Like I know Fredericton Junction was involved.
Yes, we've expanded our program beyond Fredericton. So with the amalgamation, I now am responsible for 12 other communities. So we're always saying, are you offering anything in the winter? Can you become a part of Frostival?
Yeah.
So
you're cemented in the city of Fredericton, but you're have a partnership to work regionally. With,
absolutely, yes.
Regional Service District Commission and outside the city, but as a network. So that's going well.
Yes,
and you're
absolutely.
picking up leveraging with these
Definitely.
organizations.
Well, and we're looking for things that that the community shares. So fishing is a good example. Nakawik or Mukto, and there's so many areas where we can get on board with fishing. Mountain bike Minto,
Oh my gosh.
the mountain biking at Woolastook, the mountain biking at Crab, the mountain biking. I think if you haven't heard already, what's going to be happening at Killarney. It's just it's Minto is attracting bikers
From all
over. It is world class. If you look up mountain bike Minto and you see that turquoise water, you're going to swear it's photoshopped. It is not photoshopped.
Amazing.
It has something to do with coal and oxygenization and all that stuff. You get the story from the people who are involved, and the organizers and the volunteers behind Mountain Bike Minto are winning awards left, right, and center, and deservedly so. It's just incredible. But to your point about winter, like when I first came on board, I kind of created for myself a bucket list of things that I wanted to do within the Fredericton Capital Region. I had no reason, outside of the fact that I lived in Fredericton, to pay attention to those areas. So a lot of the geography was new to me. But I went ice fishing on Indian Lake. Oh my goodness, the rush of, that bite. Just the bite alone was incredible. Night skiing at Crab Mountain. I can't even describe what it felt like to be out in the fresh air, looking up at the stars, and ski. Oh my goodness, we laughed so hard. We graduated from the bunny hill really, really quickly, and then we went down Dave's Dream. It was fun. Sleigh rides, Sandwith sleigh rides. I just marveled at the stars. I looked up more than I looked ahead, but what an opportunity. Speaking of stars, like we have a lot of low Bortle levels, low pollution levels in the Fredericton Capital Region for stargazing. And when we're talking tourism, the most important thing about stargazing is that you have to overnight in order to do it, right? You know what we drew for audiences for the eclipse. So that again is just such a nice thing to do any time of the year. And if you have a calendar celestial calendar that tells you when, then there's an opportunity there. So
So it sounds like a busy winter ahead in the tourism sector in the capital region.
Yeah,
There's
but
lots to
really,
do.
Google Frostival because you'll
like
be.
Jack said, get on the website and it's all there.
Yes.
What's happening in all the communities.
Yes.
And we also have a number of waterfalls in the Fredericton Capital Region.
Jack and Jeff are quite proud of the waterfalls out in.
And that's on my bucket list. You promised, I think it was you promised in Tracy when I met you and Tracy that you would take me on a tour.
Yes, golly, we'll do that in the
now that there's water.
Well, we could do it now because the water is finally, getting up there, or in the spring as well.
Yeah, because we're not going to do it in the winter, are we?
Well,
we'll just leave that as an inside thing. And if you do, wear the right boots.
Yes, exactly. But I would love that. I think covered bridges and waterfalls. The covered bridges in New Brunswick and in the Fredericton Capital Region, phenomenal.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, for a Sunday drive. So I did go with a blogger and we went and did 5, I think.
Featured. Nice.
And it was really, really incredible to do that.
Well, Jeff was part of, former DTI minister and helped protect some and refurbish some while you were minister. Thank goodness, because that's what we need to do is protect those covered bridges.
Yes.
We did, I think it was called a cover bridge revitalization protection program together at the time, and it was a strategy. I'm not sure if it's still being followed, but
how many other bridges last that long? They must have done something right.
Well, there you go.
The concrete and steel bridges don't last over 100 years like the wooden ones do. That's for certain.
No, sir.
They just don't. But
Kissing bridges.
Yes.
bridges, So we have 3 right here in our local vicinity. 2 in Hoyt and 1 here.
What else, though, quickly in terms of what we need in Fredericton? What's the region searching for?
And can you get that all in a minute and a half?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Live. I should go ABCD, but live entertainment. You'd be hard pressed to go somewhere and not find live entertainment. So it's incredible.
Hickeys and Dolans.
Yes.
Just to name 2.
Yes, exactly. Culinary. I'm a foodie. If you want a recommendation, I give you a recommendation.
Okay.
But we also invite travel media, like journalists who write stories. So again, just do your Google search, and a lot of stuff will come up. Our website is incredible. As I say, we have an incredible marketing team. Anything that's going on that you need to know about, it's going to be on that website. That's my go-to.
And if there's any organizations or businesses in the capital region that believe that they have something to offer in a tourism type thing, reach
Yes,
out to Rose Arsenault in the
please.
city of Fredericton
Yes.
and get
Rose
in.
Arsenault at
cannot lose.
fredericton.ca.
You
Yes.
cannot lose.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Rose, it's
know.
been a great show. Let's hand it over
This
to
show
you.
has been the easiest to fill.
Oh my gosh, it's just been a great pleasure to have you, and I hope we can have you on again because we could talk another 3 hours about this. Your passion certainly comes through.
Oh, thank you.
What would you like to say? What's in your future in store, but also just any parting words that you'd like to give?
Look, enough about me. I want to say thank you to the three of you and for what you're doing in terms of local. Like, honestly, I think this is such a great story. The first thing I said when I arrived is that I want to take this back to the CBC. I want them to do a story on you. And then, oh yeah, right, they're not really focused on local. But you guys are focused on local. I love it. I love it. Please keep doing what you're doing. I love you guys, as you know.
We love you.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to take you up on that very kind
Yes.
offer to do the waterfall tour.
Oh,
do a tour,
definitely
right?
will.
That'd be
We'll
fun.
get a few in.
Yeah, I want to
Make
go
a
on
day
that
of
one.
it.
Yes.
Hey, that one I will go on.
Okay, good.
Well-
Jack can tell such a great narrative and a story when
yes.
we go to those. But I think you learned it all from Robin.
I did.
Robin's
Oh,
a
my
great
goodness.
storyteller.
Yes.
Oh, we didn't.
We'll bring
get a
him
chance-
along.
Yeah,
Oh,
we didn't
next
even
show.
talk about Robin Hanson.
But we'll have
Next
to
show.
get
I
you
could
back
have.
on.
I could have filled the whole.
I know,
The whole
the whole
show.
Well, we'll do that.
Yep.
In the future.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's it from us for this week. And we will see you next week right here on CHCO, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, or any of your podcast platforms. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.